And what is up, guys? Welcome back to Acceleracers Hub for another video. Hopefully you guys all had an awesome week. It is time for the next part in the collection review series, guys. Definitely the most popular series on the channel, other than Randy's Customs, of course. But the collection review series is not too far behind. You guys definitely seem to enjoy these a lot. So there are two parts to this video today. The first part, or the majority of the video, I should say, is going to be going through the collection of a member in the community named Mike, who has some pretty cool pieces, including an absolute army of drone cars. And then at the back end of the video, we have an absolutely awesome find that took place in New Zealand. Just a absolutely incredible, probably one of the best loose Acceleracers car finds that I've probably ever seen for the price. So you will definitely want to stick around for that because, spoiler alert, it does include the two twin jewels of the Teku line, which are Chicane and Spectyte, so definitely stick around for that. But let's go ahead and jump into Mike's collection. So Mike has been in the community for a long time now, started collecting back in 2003. Now we are in 2022, 19 years later, and he's got a really good variety on his collection. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, guys, here is the aerial view of Mike's collection. Look at all those loose cars and look at that army of drones by the sweeper. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of these items. So this corner is obviously the one that grabbed my attention right away. Obviously, we have the giant sweeper. We have, it looks like 3 hyperpods, which are the Slam Ram hyperpod, the Dual Driller, and the Harpoon, and the 2 hyperpod exclusive cars, which are the Acceleron Shredster and the Acceleron Sinistra. Just missing the whipped cream out of there. But the real army is these drone cars. Oh my goodness. These are the Chrome RD06s that I believe came with the Speed of Silence movie. I'm not sure if they came with any of the other movies. But just look at the sheer amount of them. I want to say he said there was something like 30 of them, or maybe it was 40. It's 30 or 40 total. I don't remember off the top of my head, but he said his dad got them in a big lot for like $30. And these days, these can sell anywhere from, 10 to 15 bucks in loose mint condition, sometimes a little bit more if people are desperate for them. So that is definitely quite the investment there. He can definitely reenact just about any scene from the movies with a lot of racing drones. So then moving on down a little bit further, we've got a bunch of loose mint Acceleracers cars. I think he said he's got an almost complete set. He's just missing a couple of the big boys, which are Chicane, Spectyte, Flathead Fury, RDO8, RDO5, and I think that might have been it. I think he has just about all the other cars, just missing some of the more expensive ones. And he said he's not sure if he will ever end up completing that set just because of the price of Chicane and Spectyte these days, but still a great looking group of cars. And then moving back towards the middle, we have 4 Gen 2 Acceleracers cars, and even the common Gen 2 cars lately have been in pretty high demand just because they don't pop up as often as the Gen 1 Acceleracers. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these more common Gen 2 cars popped up, 50, 60, 70 bucks in the next couple months just because of the demand. And I think he said 2 of these were actually ones that he won in a giveaway on the Acceleracers Sub YouTube channel. I don't remember which giveaway it was, but I believe it was the Acceleron Hollowback and probably the RDO5. But then moving a little bit further down, we have a whole bunch of Acceleracers trading cards. As you can see, there are 2 Acceleracers starter set cases. So you got to assume he's got at least 2 starter decks worth of cards, including a couple foil cards. I can see the Bootlegger Reverse, Chrome Globes, and Armored Plow. And then a whole bunch of loose Acceleracers cards. Definitely more than enough to play the card game with. And then moving on over to the right, we have a full loose mint set of Highway 35 World Race cars. They look absolutely awesome loose mint. We normally don't get a big aerial view of all these cars. I know just about every collection that's submitted has the loose mint Acceleracers cars, but these Highway 35 ones, we don't see that all that often in these videos, at least not spread out like this. And it's funny, the Street Breed is definitely my favorite team in the package, but loose mint, the Wave Rippers got to be the ones that grab my eye the fastest. They just look absolutely great down at the bottom. And these all came directly from the blister, so they are 100% loose mint. I think he said that there was some water damage to a bunch of the blisters from a flood a few years ago, so they just went ahead and liberated all of them from the packaging, but they opened them in a very safe way so that the packaging was preserved. And that's pretty cool, honestly, that he could put them right back into the package. It's pretty neat that he held on to all of those packaging. And then moving along, we have all of the Highway 35 comics from the cars. And he also has a whole bunch of Acceleracers movies and the World Race game for GameCube. And then he also has the Accelodrome track set and the Swamp Beast track set complete. He said in this picture it was not the best picture of them, but he does have the complete track set for both of these. And then he has a whole army of Acceleracers recolors. And recolors are something that's been pretty interesting to me recently. Just, ever since Ryan sort of mentioned that some of these can have a lot of value, some of the region-specific ones, they've kind of piqued my interest. And who knows, with the prices of Acceleracers going through the roof, I would not be surprised at some point if some of these recolors really started gaining value. At least the ones that have somewhat similar paint colors to the Acceleracers cars. because at some point, once all these cars are, $80, $90, nobody's going to be willing to collect them. So maybe recolors will become the move. So then one last big aerial shot of his collection, and also down in the bottom middle, I forgot to do this on its individual picture, but he also has two of the Acceleracers starter set green synchros. Obviously, it makes sense, if he has two starter set cases, but those green synchros these days are pretty pricey. I think people have been charging normally around the $70 mark for those, so definitely not a bad investment at all. So that is going to wrap it up for Mike's collection. Once again, huge shout out to him for the collection review submission. And if any of you guys out there want to get your collection featured on the Acceleracers Hub channel, shoot me an email. I'm going to leave my email down in the description of the video. Use Mike's photos as an example. Very well lit, very clear, no blurry photos. Everything was laid out beautifully. Send me some photos of your collection. We will get you featured on the Acceleracers Hub YouTube channel. I think we may have one more submission lined up, but then after that, I'm wide open. So your collection will probably be featured pretty shortly. And now let's transition to the second part of the video. So this is a pretty cool find by a member of the community down in New Zealand. I'm probably going to mispronounce his name and I apologize. I'm going to call him Hamish. It's Hamish. Somebody will have to correct me down in the comments. He might have to correct me in the comments, but I'm not exactly sure the pronunciation on that. We're just going to call him Hamish for now. But basically, down in New Zealand, there is an eBay service. You can buy stuff on eBay and get it shipped to New Zealand. But Australia and New Zealand both have the same issue where it's just the shipping is absolutely unbelievable. I believe it's normally like $25 to $40, just depending on the size and the weight of the items that you're buying. So it's just not super feasible to buy a lot of stuff on eBay just because of the shipping costs. A lot of times you'll end up paying more in shipping than you do for the actual items. So he said in New Zealand, there actually is another site called Trade Me, I believe he said it was called. And it's sort of like eBay, it's just another selling site down in New Zealand. But a lot of times people will list Hot Wheels and, they have Facebook Marketplace, a bunch of other stuff. But anyways, he was on Trade Me and he looks at these big lots of loose cars that I know a lot of you people do, look through all the job lots of cars and, try to spy out Acceleracers here and there. So he found this lot of cars, and I'm going to put it on the screen in a second. And it might have been the Acceleracers loose jackpot. So here is the photo of the lot from Trade Me. And he told me, it was real blurry, but immediately he noticed a bunch of Acceleracers cars. And I'm sure all of you guys with eagle eyes can already spy out at least 4 or 5. This was the Acceleracers jackpot. I can see probably 5 or 6 right off the top of my head. Let's go ahead and take a look at which ones they are. So I crudely circled them with this red marker. And as you can see, the first one down on the bottom is an RDO1, then an Acceleron Sinistra, then a Power Rage. And then moving up on the left, we have an Acceleracer Chicane. And in the back corner, we have an Acceleracer Spectyte. I probably would have noticed that Chicane, but I don't know if I would have realized it was an Acceleracers one, honestly. And that Spectyte, there's probably no way I would have known that that was a Spectyte. So shout out to him for having eagle eyes and spying those. And I think there are more Acceleracers cars in here. I do see a hollow back right in the middle of the photo, right in the top middle. And maybe there's 1 or 2 more, but those were all the ones that I saw off the top of my head. But with the picture being so blurry, he just sort of had to wait for them to come in and pray that they were in decent condition. And it turned out to be like the best case scenario possible. Look at the condition on this Spectyte, guys. It is just about loose mint. Look at that. Those decals are almost perfect. And the Chicane had a little bit more wear on it, just or maybe that might even just be dust on the side of it down at the bottom. But look at that. Those decals, the hood decals, absolutely pristine. This car is almost in perfect condition as well. And then there is the Power Rage from the lot as well. And once again, the hood decals are probably one of the quickest parts of the Power Rage to get scuffed up when people are playing with them as kids. But to see that hood almost all black, that is a great sign. So absolutely incredible being able to find loose Chicane, Spectyte, Power Rage. Absolutely unreal to find that in a loose lot of Hot Wheels cars. That definitely might be one of the best finds that I've ever seen as far as just, loose cars go. What an absolutely great find. And it just gets better because he said, I think not too long afterwards, he was on Facebook Marketplace and he found another really rare Acceleracers car for $10. You guys are going to be absolutely blown away by what popped up on Facebook Marketplace. Take a look at it. So this Adidas Power Rage car is what he found on Facebook Marketplace for $10. What an awesome looking car. I really do love the paint scheme on it. It is absolutely gorgeous. I really don't know just how rare these Adidas cars are because there's 3 of them, I believe, but they definitely are very, very desirable. I'll have to check with Ryan or someone else and see if they know just how rare it is in relation to other cars, but they're definitely really cool, really desirable. What a find. So once again, just absolutely incredible finds by Hamish. A huge shout out to Mike for letting us review his collection on the channel. Thank you to Hamish again for the pictures and the story. Figured you guys would find that interesting. We can all just dream about finding a lot like that one day, right? But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to smash the like button for me. Subscribe to the Acceleracers Hub for more Acceleracers related content. I will get the date of the Hot Wheels Unleashed tournament posted on my community tab tomorrow morning for you guys. So keep you guys posted. And that's going to do it, guys. So I will catch you in the next video. Peace out, guys.